Mwahaha. Wohoho. He ha ha. Oh he ha ha ha. Alright, so a lot of people who usually tune into these streams are probably not awake right now. Anyone from Europe, anyone in EU time zones is not awake right now. That's cool. Well, it's not cool, but minus all my EU viewership. But we're just chilling out tonight. We're not doing anything special, not doing anything fancy. We're just gonna do a little bit of reverse engineering. I thought it might be fun to do some of this on stream for a change. Um, Now, essentially, what we're gonna do today is we're gonna work on this tool I started a year ago, called imaginatively titled SI Editor, and we're going to figure out exactly how to make it work properly. I mean, it works. It works pretty well already, but it's just not 100% perfect, and I feel like it really ought to be, right? So, um, if you want to see how this app works, I'll probably do this demonstration again when more people get in. But if you want to see how this app works, it's essentially a fully featured SI editor. Yo, Twitch for some reason just sent me the notification. I actually just started streaming, so it's an odd hour for me. That's why it's it's confusing. Usually I would be streaming 7 hours earlier, but it's a late night stream today. So what we're doing is, this is a tool I developed where essentially it can browse through all of the assets in the game, and it works pretty well. I'm pretty proud of it. But it's obviously its killer feature is the fact that you can replace assets, and this sometimes works for smaller SI files like the hospital. This works for larger ones like Infomain or the Overworld one. Infomain is the information center, the main room in the information center. Then that doesn't work for some reason. I haven't figured out why yet. If you want to see some of the cutscenes in here, though, this is a cool thing you can do in this tool. So there's the animations. So the cutscenes are made up of like 3D models, 3D animations, and then facial animation and sound effects. So horror game shot. What this staring image? It is a bit of a stare. Hang on, I'll throw a stare emote in. But essentially, or are you talking about my webcam? My webcam is dark because it's late. Yeah. So here's a fun fact. I actually have a light here because the problem with the ceiling lights is that they make me look pretty bad. They don't light me very well, and so I have a background light over here. And I want to do what I used to do, where I have a blue background, but I haven't located in the Move. I haven't located my blue like filters yet, so I can only have them white or orange. I have them orange, and what's weird about this is that because I'm being lit completely, it's also still a mess. That's the other problem, is my background is still really ugly. I'm working on that. But what's funny about this is because the background is being lit completely differently to how I'm being lit, it kind of looks like I'm on a green screen. Because your brain sees the way I'm lit and the way the background is lit, and it just looks completely incongruous. Of course, I am in this room, and I do get lit by this. Now it looks fine. Now I look like I'm in the same place. But yeah, when I'm in front of it, I don't. It's really funny. Decomp, I'm peeing and pissing and shitting. I'm afraid it's not decomp today. It's very similar. It's reverse engineering, but not decomp. I'm got a message. Okay. Um, are we in Mexico? We are. No, it's we can also get just regular. This is white. Um, we can actually do both. We can have white and orange, and have way too much light. See, it still looks. I still think it looks like I'm on a green screen because like I'm being lit by this light, and then the background is yeah. It just doesn't. The your brain doesn't can't put the two together. Um, so yeah. Anyway, so that's that's the lighting situation, and because my background looks so bad, I decided just to not have any light at all. At some point, like I used to do, I'll have some blue light in the background, so it'll be a little bit less less horror camera. Yeah, we can make it a little bit orange. It still doesn't look particularly great. Like those shelves are really ugly, and all the crap on the floor is really ugly. Um, you know, you do what you can. You know, I don't have a dedicated stream room or studio room. Um, I don't have to throw something in the background. I can just yeah, I can just step into it, and then you'll be like, oh, I get it. Your brain will be like, oh yeah, now it makes sense. Now he's being lit correctly. But now when I'm in front of the light, it's just like, what the hell is going on? So yeah, I'll probably have it. I'll probably keep it low just because it's chill. It's late night Lego Island hours. So yo, thanks for the prime sub, Melina Vol. Thanks for the no, it's not Melina, it's Melia Vol. Thank you for the prime sub. Thanks for the Bezos bucks. Matt going live the moment I start looking for something to watch with my dinner. It's a sign. It is. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Sorry for mispronouncing your name. So what we're doing today, if we head back to my system. So I built this tool a year ago, around August 2022. Actually, yeah, exactly a year ago. Because I felt like it was about time there was just a fully featured SI editor, because we've had a couple extractors over the years, and then I made a music replacement tool, but it only did music, and I feel like it's about time someone made some actual something that can universally edit SI files, and this does a pretty good job. You can at least browse through. It can at least read all the SI files. You can browse through everything, and if I go down to, they're always at offset 500 for some reason, but starting at offset 500, you have the cutscene animation. So this is you get a wave file, you get the facial animation, you get the 3D animation, and you get some sound effects. The 3D models are not in the SI files; they're in world.wdb, and not many people have figured that out. That's a whole other format in and of itself. Brother, you call this a late night stream, but it is 7 p.m. The elderly are still up. It's late for me in the sense that, not for me, but for my stream, because I usually stream at midday. Hey, if we were on the East Coast, it would be pretty late. Everyone does it's okay. Well, I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, but still, sorry about that. Sorry about that. So you can play these cutscenes. Like I said, there's no 3D models here. There is the 3D animation is here, and a friend of mine actually wrote a tool that paused the 3D animation, and you could import it into something like Blender. But that's not in this tool yet, at least. But here's a cutscene from Lego Island playing in my editing tool.
Oh, hello. I didn't see you at first. I see you now, of course, and I'm really glad you're here. I'm going to pieces, as you can see. It seems like everybody picked today to fall apart on me.
So yeah, that's fun, and you can hear all the sound effects. I guess there were 2 sound effects in there. Just that one. What's this one then? I swear I only heard one sound effect. Oh, right. Okay. I must have missed the brew. And yeah, all the cutscenes are kind of this way. And if we could pair, it would be really interesting eventually to be able to pair the 3D models from the world.wdb with this 3D animation, so we could actually render these in game. But we can't do that yet, unfortunately. Uh, Never played Lego Island, but been dragged down the rabbit hole by a mat. Yeah, honestly, you don't need to have, like, I mentioned that in the decomp video, that it's not exactly like Lego Island is my favorite game of all time. It's just kind of the game that I fell into modding. Like, it's the game I started modding, and it's because it's the one I'm most familiar with, and because no one else really does it, it's kind of a niche that I was able to carve out for myself. So if I really wanted, I could replace... it gets a little bit difficult because Lego Island only supports certain kinds of assets. For example, the bitmaps have to be 256 color bitmaps. They can't be anything else. So you have to make them 256 color, and then you have to make the palette. There are specific entries in the palette that you can't change, so you have to accommodate for that. It's actually somewhat difficult to make bitmaps that actually plug into Lego Island as is. I mean, you can do it. It's very possible. It's just it takes some work. You can actually see some stuff I've done before. I posted these videos on the forum of like previous attempts at replacing things. So this, for example.
Doc, you've got to get this guy out from under me. That's the last pirate party I go to for a long time.
I wonder what accent they were going for there. Whatever they were going for, I'm fairly certain they didn't achieve. But that being said, maybe it's something else. Maybe it's something that I don't know, and therefore it's perfectly a-okay. Oh yeah, the easiest way to transplant bitmaps, of course, is to just transplant an existing Lego Island one, because they're already formatted. The palette is already formatted correctly. So if I grab the police station bitmap and I throw it into the hospital one, and I say I replace this bitmap with this one, and then because I want to hold on to these, I'll go back and I'll make a backup, call this .old, and we'll save a new hospital .sci, and then when we boot up the game, and then we go to the hospital. This will take a second to get into the hospital, what you'll see. Then they'll have the police station background. Forgive the jittering. That's like
Well, that was interesting.
that's like a wine issue of some kind. So it's a little bit loud.
Okay, let's get started. There's so much to do. Things like racing.
There we go. So yeah, we'll head over to the hospital, and it'll have the police station background. Oh yeah, because of lack of pick, you can only there we go. There we go.
Oh, hello. I didn't see you at first. I see you now, of course, and I'm really glad you're here. I'm going to pieces, as you can see. It seems like everybody picked today to fall apart on me.
But and then all these other overlay bitmaps appear, even though because they're still in there. But yeah, because of but I changed the background, so it's a relatively thorough modding tool. This, however, the worst or the most iconic SI file, arguably, the information center, it's not yet able to reconstruct this, which is unfortunate. Oh yeah. I forgot this existed the first time I saw it, and I was like, holy shit, it's a creepypasta version. But no, that's actually normal. That's what happens when you break the Brickster out by accident. Are you decomping? No, I am. This is it's related to it. It's reverse engineering, but what it is trying to figure out um, how to reconstruct SI files reliably. This does quite a few of them, but it doesn't do all of them yet. Never seen that shaky animations in Wine. No, it's something specific with Lego Island and Wine. It wouldn't happen in. Oh, it's something specific with Lego Island, Wine, and doing it in a window like this, because it would be a real pain in the ass if it was constantly changing resolution while I'm modding. Basically, I play this game exclusively in a window because I'm only ever playing it when I'm modding it.
Hello! Hola! Willkommen! Bienvenue! Konnichiwa! Aloha! How you doing? Yo! And in any language, welcome to Lego Island!
This is new-ish in the sense that most people I don't think know that it exists. I actually wrote most of this a year ago, and then I kind of stopped halfway. Well, I stopped before getting it 100% because in September I was doing the 4 months of the sponsored video blitz, so I didn't really have any time to work on this anymore. And it's taken me until now to get back to it and be like, you know what, I feel like this should be like perfected now. Good evening, hope you're safe. Thank you. It's been all good here. At least where I am. I mean, it's been very wet and very humid and very rainy, but that's about it. I've seen some videos of some like flooding and shit, but I haven't seen any of that in person, thankfully. Yes, this is my tool. I made this. Yeah, I started this in August 2022, pretty much exactly a year ago. And then because I started the sponsored video blitz in September, I wasn't able to finish it. So now I'm gonna try and finish it. Now, for the most part, like I said, it can reconstruct a lot of these, but some really important ones like the information center and the overworld, which is isle.si, it cannot do those. And so the goal today is trying to figure out how to make it so it can do that. That's gonna get washed away midstream. Yeah, maybe. I mean, there's still a non-zero chance my power will go out. I mean, I don't know if currently I know we're under a flash flood warning right now, and I don't know if that means I don't know if that's what we were under before, or if there was a different warning before. But maybe there's not as much risk of power going out anymore. Wish I had a little rain over here. The heat has been absolutely unbearable. Oof, where are you at? If you don't mind sharing. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of heat either. I like my weather a little bit cooler, which is unfortunate because I've only ever lived in places that are pretty warm. For example, Australia, very sunny and warm, and I was never a particular fan of sunny and warm weather. And then the next place I lived was SoCal, which is also very sunny and warm. So southeastern US, not quite the coast, but not too far from it. Interesting. Yeah, I can imagine. I know that the south gets pretty hot. Yeah. Heat over snow any day. Yeah, that's true. I don't have. I've never lived in a snowy area, and it does worry me about when I look up like places to live. I feel like snow would be a real problem, but I speak from a position of privilege because I've only ever lived in places that never snow. I'd absolutely take snow over heat any day. Wow, it's I mean, I haven't experienced any snow, so I almost feel like I can't. I've experienced snow like a handful of times, like once or twice. I don't know if I've ever experienced being in like while it was snowing. I've been to Canada in the winter and there was snow on the ground, but I don't know if that really counts. And then I've been in where I grew up. It would snow. I would kind of make fun of people for saying like it snows here because it snows like 10 seconds per year. It'll snow for a few seconds and then it'll be over and then it'll be clear skies for the rest of the year. But that's it. I don't think either of those really count essentially. live in Alaska and I want to move to Texas because I'm tired of the snow. That's fair enough. Yeah, I get that. I could absolutely see, humans. I think we're designed for warmer weather than cooler weather. We don't have like big fur coats or anything like that, but still, I like it a little bit cooler. Yeah. So my goal with this is, and I don't know if I don't really know if we'll get any very far today, because you never know with these things, like if they're going to work out at all, and when you're going to figure them out. I'm going to give it a shot. And if it gets too boring, then we'll see. But basically, I'm going to do something really simple here, which is the software kind of has two modes. The first mode is like where it splits it up into assets, and you can kind of see all the different pictures and sounds and animations and videos that make up the SI file. But it's also got a mode where you can just view the SI file kind of from a more raw perspective. That's a terrible way to word it, but essentially you can actually see kind of the structures that make it up, where all the data is chunked into pieces, and you can show like the bytes that constitute those chunks. And for the most part, this information is not very useful, but it's useful for me because I'm trying to figure out like what differences, how has my tool reconstructed the file differently in the old version, in the original versus what my tool made. So let's see if we can parse this out at all. Basically, you can always throw on an extra coat when it's cold, but you can't keep just taking off clothes when it's hot. That's always been my argument to why I prefer it to be a little bit cooler. Is like it's fairly easy to get warmer, but it's comparatively quite difficult if it's really hot and you don't happen to have air conditioning. It's comparatively quite difficult to get cool. You just have to like sweat and fan air into your face. But yeah. I didn't know you streamed. I do. I mean, I usually don't stream at this time, so that's it. For a lot of people, I probably stream at like 5 in the morning, and it's really inconvenient. But yeah, I'm here now because it's we're doing a little bit of just a chill working stream essentially. So I'm trying to figure out in the left corner is the original Information Center SI file, and on the right is the one that my tool reconstructed. And I'm trying to figure out why the original works but mine doesn't. So you can see, so this is the original, I've given it a .old, and this is the one that I made. And when I try to launch it, here's what happens. Very, very nondescriptly, the game, it'll load it, it'll seem like it's fine, but then as soon as it tries to play the first cutscene, it'll crash. Now, we probably could debug this and try to figure out like where it's crashing and look at the source code, or not the source code, the machine code. But the problem with that is that's probably going to be, that's a perfectly viable strategy, but the thing is it's probably going to be harder than just looking at the differences between the SI files and trying to figure it out. 4:26 a.m. is you in a EU time zone. That's rough, buddy. Go to bed. But no, I appreciate you hanging out. Yeah, that's always the tough part about streaming, is that it's basically impossible to stream at a time that is good for everyone, even everyone in like just English speaking countries, because you've got the US, or you've got North America, which is the biggest English speaking region. You've got Europe, which is the second biggest, and then you've got Australia, New Zealand, and any countries in there that where English might be like a second language. And you can always have two, but not all three, essentially. 10:28. So good morning. Good morning. 10:28. That would be 9 hours before me, which would mean Must be, yeah, it must be WA. Australia, as always, ruins everything. That's what I'm saying. Imagine being born in Australia. Cringe. Just because that person. Oh wait. Oh boy, yeah, I read that. Deary me. Okay, so let's see. One thing that I noticed already is that my tool has weaved these assets in a different order. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. As far as I can tell, Lego Island is perfectly capable of reading these offsets in any order, as long as they're in the correct place index-wise. So you can see it's got this table of contents at the start, which is basically just... I say table of contents as if it's perfectly human readable, but it's basically just, you know, the game will look up, like, we want the cutscene at index 28, and the file will say, well, it starts at this offset. That's what this means. And so as long as this table is correct, it shouldn't really matter what order they are in the file, or what order they are, which comes first or whatever. As long as they're in the correct order in this table, it should be fine. But for some reason, it isn't working, and we're going to try and figure out why. Now, something that I've noticed, or something you can see from when you launch the game, is that the background loads. And what that means is that I think this scene 0, is loading correctly, because this has, basically it's all the startup stuff. It's got the background, it's got the bitmaps, like the things you can click, and all of that. So this seems to be fine, this startup object. When it crashes, it's like right when the Infomaniac usually starts talking, and that would be this one. That would be entry number 500. So I think that's where we've got to focus our attention. So entry number 500 is... Actually, don't know if my tool will tell me this easily, but guess we can try. Damn, maybe this is something that I'll need to write in, because yeah, I actually don't know which one of these streams is the... oh, we can use these names, I guess. That's Mama All Movie. That's Infomania, that's the startup object. Pepper All Movie. Laura All Movie. I'm looking for... Is that it? Is it 001 in run anim? Yes, that's it. Alright, so presumably it's something to do with the data in here specifically. And I need to find the corresponding one in my reconstruction, which may not be in quite the same place. But like I said, that's probably not a bad thing. That's probably not a problem, I should say. Here we go. So I guess we'll just go down the line and see if we can find any disparities between them. They're both type 7, they're both presenters, they've both got unknown 10, they've both got the same name, same ID, same flags, they loop one time, as in they don't loop at all. All of that seems fine. And they've got a list of the objects. This is kind of another index sort of thing. I won't read these out every time just because it's probably going to be really annoying if I do, but I'm going to try and figure out if any of these have any differences. So far, they all look about the same. My assumption is that there's not going to be really anything wrong with the... Oh, here we go. That's better. There's not really going to be anything wrong with the data. It's more going to be just something is structurally not quite right. Oh, yo! Thanks for the sub, Retro Random. I really appreciate that. Sorry, I'm late. I don't have alerts at the moment because for some reason it broke and I haven't gotten around. And my plan was to rewrite the bot, and I did rewrite the bot, but I haven't rewritten the overlay and stuff yet. Yo, and thank you, an anonymous gifter, for the gift sub to Fluffy Crazy Strings. Hell yeah! Thank you so much for the subs. I really appreciate that. Yeah, hell yeah. Thanks so much for hanging out and watching this boring garbage. All right, so we're gonna see if we can figure out why, in the name of God, these aren't quite. What might be interesting. This was a funny sound I just made. What might be interesting is actually opening my info main in SI edit and seeing if I can find any differences this way as well. Here we go. So that's info main seems fine. We're gonna scroll all the way down to the startup one.
Hello!
So far, it's all good. It's going to be something really esoteric, I think, sadly. It's always with the problem with these sorts of things. So that's that sound effect. Well, looky here. Huh. Well, what have we got here? Why, this animation starts at 0. This one starts at whatever the hell that is. I think we might have found a difference here. I mean, it might not be boring garbage if people are watching. I mean, yeah, I guess not. I really appreciate it. I always assume when I do these like working streams, no one's ever gonna watch. But it's really nice to see that the people are having a time. Check progress. Oh yeah, if you want to check the decomp progress, I am working on part 2 of the video right now. Not right now, obviously, but I was working on the script earlier today. Trying to get that done before the end of the month, because I'm going to PAX in September, and I want the video out before I go to PAX because that's just going to make things like logistically so much easier. And yeah, it's coming along, and I'll have a like status update. But if you want to check yourself, just check the GitHub. It's got a big like progress bar on it. It's pretty fancy. Is SI Editor made by you? Yes! This is a tool that I started developing a year ago in August of 2022, and I got pretty far with it. Like I demonstrated earlier on that you can actually replace a bunch of like bitmaps in the game. You can replace animations. I didn't demonstrate that, but you can. And so it's a fairly relatively comprehensive modding tool. However, it's not yet perfect. That's why I was going to make a video about it when I was finished with it, but I never actually finished it because I started working on this was in August last year, and from September to December I had a sponsor contract where I was kind of like just getting videos out as quickly as possible, so I kind of didn't have time to work on it, and then I never quite got back to it. So we're getting back to it now. It's been a whole year, but we're doing it. I love when insomnia makes me find you streaming at 3:30 UK time. Oof! And, you know, that actually reminds me. The first time I ever went to England, I was hella jet lagged, and I woke up at 3:30 in the morning, and I was amazed to see, because I've never been that far north in the world before. I was amazed to see that the sun was rising at 3:30 in the morning. I'm used to it like maybe it rises at 5:30 to 6 in the summer. But I was amazed to see that, you know, the sun would stay up until like 9 or 10 p.m. and then it would rise again at like 3 o'clock. It was quite a surreal experience. But I guess if you live there, it's probably completely normal. But that's what that reminded me of. Yes, hope you're doing well as well, Fluffy. Thanks for stopping by. Why is there an emote of your feet? You know, you gotta give the audience what they want. You know, it's just good showmanship. All right. So I'm actually kind of amazed that we've actually found an issue here. I thought it was going to take a lot longer. I thought I was going to be like poring over this for hours before I figured this out. But no, it is something quite obvious, as it turns out. It is, well, presumably it's obvious. It would appear to be something obvious. Let's go with that. The start time. So the SI files have an interesting thing in them where you can tell the sound to start at a certain time. So it doesn't have to be like a full second of silence beforehand. If you want the sound to play a second in, you don't have to bake that silence into the sound effect. You can just put in the sound effect and say start at, you know, 1,000 milliseconds, and it'll do it. For example, this starts at this wave starts at this wave starts at 1.4 seconds. That's why, you know, there's these sound effects. There's the pew pew.
Hello.
So that's the 1.4 seconds is that delay before this starts.
Hello.
Oh yeah, my editor also replicates that start time for like because I guess it's just for faithfulness. But then this starts at 14.5 seconds. So this is the next line in his dialogue. I guess browse ahead.
Oh, I almost forgot. If you haven't done so already, book and sign in, please.
I don't know why those are split up over 2 wave files, but they are. Why is the room so dark? Well, firstly, it's because it's nighttime, and secondly, because I'll demonstrate this again for people who weren't here. But it is very dark. I have a light. The problem with the ceiling light is that it makes me look like shit, basically. I don't like the ceiling lighting on me. And I think I do have a light here, but the problem is 2 things. One, I haven't found my blue filters. I want to do the blue background like I used to do in like my videos from 2021. But I haven't found my blue filters, so currently I only have white and orange on this light. And so that's the first problem. The second problem is it's just an absolute goddamn mess. It's not very nice to look at the moment, and so I kind of figured that it may as well, you know, it's late night Lego Island hours, you know, we may as well be Hackerman, I'm in, you know. I always think, and I mentioned before, I think it's really funny when I have like the light full blast. Doesn't it look like I'm in front of like a green screen? Because your brain looks at this and is like, well, the background is being lit completely differently to me. So it's like, it can't put the two together, so it just looks like I'm on a green screen or something. But I promise you I'm not. If I like... See? I'm not on a green screen. Now, you see, it makes sense. The lighting makes sense for your brain. But if I, you know, as soon as I have different lighting, it looks completely wrong. Anyway, so that's late night Lego Island hours. That's why we're doing this. Go sit on the couch to prove. Gosh, really making me work for this green screen proof. It is me. It is a real room. I'm not sitting on a green block. I guess I could be though. Could have just put a green colored block there. So yeah, the point is, at some point I'll find my blue filters, and at some point I'll clean my goddamn room, and then I won't be coming out of the darkness like a ghost. Nice 3D environment modeling. I know, right? It's pretty good. I've been practicing Blender for a couple years now. Alright, let's get back to this. So we're trying to figure out why in God's name does my reconstructed SI file have a start time of 19706333334 when it's supposed to be 0. And what that's going to mean is I'm going to have to figure out where the start times are again. I've actually forgotten. I guess I can always just look at the source code and figure out, you know, where they're from. But so this is object 156. So we want to find the first object 156, and then we want to find the same thing here. In this one, it should be also 156. Oh no, it's 161. Is that a bad thing? Did I get that wrong? Wait, maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing. So this is the animation. It's object 161. Maybe it doesn't matter. Oh no, it is 161. What the hell was I looking at before? It's not 156. It's 161 on both. Okay. So the first 161 chunk, I think, is what we're looking for. Here. It's the same data in both. That's good. That's a good starting point. Oh, I'm fucking coming. Oh, sorry. Yeah, the overlay doesn't work. I'm gonna fix that eventually. Need some green filters. I wonder if I can, with what I've got as is. Can I make myself a bit more green? Oh, yes. Yes. What is this, the Matrix? I just look like I'm like really sick or something. Hang on, I'll put some text on. Fantastic. All right, well, you're welcome. Shrek. I do. Oh, no, I do. I look a bit like I'm doing a Shrek cosplay. That's so sad. Lean closer to the camera. Oh, I'll just do one of these. Oof. What are you doing in my swamp? Anyway. You know, this actually kind of ties in. I was planning in September to do a subathon. Because back in my game review days, if you're a if you're an OG on my channel, if you've gone back to watch my old videos, I used to do a thing called Shrektember, where all my game reviews would be on Shrek games in September. And I thought, wouldn't it be funny to bring back Shrektember in the current year, in the year of our Lord 2023? And I realized, you know what would be great is to actually do a subathon of just playing Shrek games. I'll call it a Shrekathon. And you know what? I'm already kind of going for it. Already kind of doing it. Good times. What happens if I... Hang on. What does the orange light look like now? Whoa. It's just all green now. It's not easy being green. All right. Anyway, keep getting distracted. But yeah, hacker room. You know, I guess I could just, now that it's green, I could just do a little bit, and then it's like everything's green now. The Shrek collection, the Shrection, the Kashrection. Yeah, I mean, I'll absolutely, because a lot of those games. Look, I'm gonna make a confession real quick. When I was doing Shrektember, a lot of those games, I didn't finish them. You know, I was trying to get those videos out like one every week back then. I don't know how I did that. I think I literally just got up in the morning at like 6 a.m., edited until like midnight, and then I just went to bed for like, and that was just a straight week, and that's how I got those out. But yeah, the thing is, I only played the games for like a couple hours before I reviewed them, so probably I wasn't being particularly fair, but I think I was just trying to, I wasn't necessarily considering myself a serious reviewer. I was just trying to be funny. But that's my confession, and I'm gonna pay for it this September with my Shrekathon. I'm gonna actually finish some of these games. I'll finish Shrek Extra Large on the GameCube. They really missed an opportunity to call it Shrekstra Large, but you know. Go have a green matte emote. You know, if you make one, you can go back through the VOD. If you make a good green matte emote, you can put it in the Discord, and I'll make it an emote. We do have some good ones. If you're a 7TV user, we have a shitload of 7TV emotes. I'm a big fan of 7TV, but that's why I've front loaded those. But we also have some pretty good Twitch emotes, some sub emotes like the Jesus. That Gacy Paid is pretty good. I do like that one. All right, so back to why in the name of God is the start time completely wrong. Nice cock. That's such a good one. Nice cock. All right. Keep getting distracted. All right, now 161. Here we go. I think this is it actually. Where is the start time? I'm gonna have to look through my code and figure out, like, already suffering with Francoface and BTTV. Actually, if you install 7TV, that includes Francoface and BTTV emotes, so you can just get away with the one extension then. Matt Gacy. Oh, how am I ever gonna recover? Oh shit. All right. Anyway. So how do we actually find the start time? I'm gonna figure this out. It's in lib, I guess. Start time. Maybe not. How? Did I say like milliseconds or? This is the problem with having not. The problem with having not looked at this code in over a year is that you forget all about it. Hell, I forget code that I've written 2 weeks ago. If it's older than 2 weeks, someone else wrote it. I didn't write it. It's not mine. Okay, so I think maybe I wrote it in as time instead of... Alright, whatever. Let's see. Other types. Time. It's just a part of like multimedia. Oh, no. I want to be in SI types, I think. Time. Time in milliseconds, that should appear at... But how do I get... Okay, no. I'm going to work backwards. I'm going to work backwards from... Because I must have written in the app. There must be a string that says start time. Okay. There it is. Start time. So how does that get... how does that get... what's the word I'm looking for? Populated. Is that it? Chunk time offset? Okay, so where does time offset get populated? Start time changed. No, that's UI callback. Oh god. Oh. Okay, I think it is just the first chunk. The first chunks, yeah, I think so. The first chunk's time. It should have a time on the chunk. 161 here. Interesting. So what is mine if it's 161. Looking for it here. Yeah, I agree. Prints are better than breakpoints. Hell yeah, based. Sorry if I'm not saying anything. I'm just and now it's 4. What could be happening here? What's going on? In the words of that one guy from Crazy Frog, what's going on? Dun, 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 dun. This is... Oh. Okay, never mind. It's just like, I guess it's just a uninitialized value. So there was a complete red herring all along. Oh, that's so upsetting. So, I have some bad news. We have made negative progress. We've made 0 progress so far. Bot already broke. No, that's actually just I forgot to run it. Hang on. Oops, that's it's not on this one. It's on this one. It's on my other system. Okay, bot should be active. Did someone try to do a? Oh yeah. There it is. Yeah, it's up. Sorry about that. I haven't gotten into the habit of starting it. Without a doubt. I mean, yes. Yes, it is. Okay, so... so essentially, we've made none progress. Hang on. So it's back to trying to figure out, like, what are the differences between these two files. That's never been an issue before. I'm interested in the fact that these, it's got this tiny chunk. It's only E bytes in size. What is that actually? That's 14, I think. It's 14 bytes in size, which is, I think, the minimum chunk size. I think it's got no data in it. And in the original, they're kind of back to back. There's like this opening header chunk and then an empty chunk. And in mine, there's an opening chunk and then the empty chunk comes a lot later because it's the second chunk. So I'm looking at that and I'm thinking... The reason why I'm not sure is this isn't a problem in my hospital SI reconstruction. But let's actually see why not. If just in case this happens to be actually the reason why. So I'm trying to look for the animation, which is this one. It's got ID 16, so we're looking for the first chunk with 16 on it, which is this one, and it's got an E right after it. Huh. Could that be it? Alright. Well, I guess I can say, like, go into my library and when it goes into, like, reweaving these, I'm trying to try and get those two chunks together, the header chunk and the empty chunk. Right, object, I think. Where does the... Again, this code is so old. Arch, by the way. You know what? True. I don't even have it installed. Nice. True! Alright. Time wasted debugging. Oh yeah, it maxed out at 8 characters. I can probably remove that limit. I was worried about people like getting all spammy with it, but maybe it's not really that big of a deal, right? Amazing channel emote, dicks. I do like a good dicks emote. Mobile notification. I hate mobile notifications. They're not clear and they do not pop up correctly. I agree. I mean, Twitch notifications are kind of bad in general. That's actually the entire reason I set up a streaming Discord at all, is because at least Discord notifications actually work. But then I got tired of doing it manually, and so I hooked in a bot that would send out the Discord notification automatically, but the bot is based on the Twitch notification, so sometimes that just doesn't get sent out either. So Twitch on mobile is bad in general. That's also true. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Is there any good live streaming app? I hear that the Rumble app and the Kick app are also bad. YouTube Live is bad even on desktop. So, or the chat interface is bad even on desktop, I'll say. So... I do like a good dick. True. Alright, so where's the interweaving happen, or the weaving happen, that's what they call it. Does it happen when I do a replace? When does the actual when do the actual chunks get dot right? Oh, okay. So then when you go replace, replace with file. So when you replace with file, does it do the chunking then? It sort of does. It does the chunking, but it still seems to be separated. So, okay. Okay, I see. So the objects have the chunks inside them, and then when I... Yeah, okay. I got it. Interleave the headers if O is not empty. Right, that. Now I'm trying to figure again, now I'm trying to figure out what the hell this does. It's been too long. It's been a whole goddamn year. Oh, I see. No, I got it. Okay, so this is just kind of like adding extra data to the chunks. That's fine. The rest based on time. But why does oh, does it do this? It just writes headers until it's not empty. Is that true? Maybe what I need to do is, instead of doing that, I say if data dot empty, then we break. I don't know why it indented it like that. Thanks, buddy. Oh no, it's because it's probably because I commented this out or whatever. No, I'll leave it just in case. That doesn't make any sense though. Where does the actual interleaving happen? When does it break? Oh god. I'm so confused. Why is Matt yellow? I'm actually green. I went to the Kick website and it slows the PC down. It's not even funny. Excellent. It's 5 a.m. I'm gonna go to sleep. Oof. Well, yeah, get some sleep. It's totally understandable. I love being confused by my own code. I'm just like, why the hell did I write it like this? I mean, it was obviously for a reason. It's just been so long that I can't figure out why. Alright, well, I guess I'll do some printing. Wrote header chunk. I. Oh yeah, we don't have QT here. Yeah, I'm actually really confused by this. I'm really confused why this is doing this at all. Oh. Oh, okay. No, I got it. Oh, that was so confusing. All right, I figured it out now. Put a fisheye on it. I don't know if I have that much capability here. I don't have that many, like, OBS plugins, right? Oh god, I can put a sharpening filter on it. How sharp is that? Oh, that's pretty sharp. Jesus, that's so creepy looking. Yeah, that's pretty sharp. I'm turning that off. Turning that. Get that way down. Okay, that's better. Jesus. Disgusting. Absolute filth. Alright, let's get rid of that. I'm deleting that that filter off there. Okay, back to it. Alright. So index++. Okay. Now I get it. If... Oh yeah, because it's writing the front one. Okay, if dot size is greater than 1, we'll write and o dot data, use the functions for these, dot at 1 dot empty, we'll write the second one. That might do it. Straight up guess. Let's see if that does anything. Hello from Australia. Come back, we miss you. Oh, I'm definitely gonna visit again. Maybe in like November-ish. I was there in April. But I you know what? I miss my good old sausage sizzle and a good old slice of fairy bread. We all have those on a regular basis. All right, let's see what that does. Let's see if we reconstruct this SI now. Let's compare them. See if those empty chunks end up being back to back, like I think they're supposed to be. Oh, I have to find it again. Not that one. Not that one. This one. All right, we're checking the chunks is what we're doing. Why does that sound like I'm like examining vomit? All right, so what have we got here? Looking for the first 161 chunk. Oh, it was supposed to be backed by an empty chunk, but it's not. So something is fucked up with my implementation. That's okay. I mean, it never works the first time, does it? It's always Why are there no other 161 chunks? Huh? I hear the sounds coming from your KDE install, and I think they're coming from mine. That's a good point. You know, honestly, I usually like to disable my alert sounds. I just haven't, because this is a virtual machine, so I just haven't done it on here yet. How do you do that? Sounds. How do you? Notification sounds. There's no notification sounds. Well, I guess I'll figure that out off stream. Whatever. Every search on how to improve performance while watching a stream and giving me results about streaming or watching a stream. Here's how you improve performance, like computer performance. If you're on a PC, I'm going to assume you're on a PC. Straight up, do not use a browser at all. Use MPV, which can view live streams off Twitch. You just put the Twitch URL or the YouTube URL in, and it will just play them. And then use Chatterino. And the advantage is both of those are like native apps, and they don't they consume way less resources than Chrome or Firefox do. System saying, yeah, I looked, but it's not. It's quite literally not there. So, like I said, I have to look at it off stream. There's probably, knowing Arch, there's probably something I haven't installed, and then if I install it, it'll show up here. But yeah, I remember I would use my laptop My laptop would get warm watching Twitch. It would be at like 15% CPU, which is not, it's not huge, but it's a lot, considering, well, it's not a lot of percentage, but my laptop would get quite warm, which annoyed me because the fan would start running, and I don't like noise. So I would switch to MPV plus Chatterino, and I would be less than 1% CPU. It was unreal, especially if you enable hardware acceleration in MPV. MPV supports like hardware decoding on most platforms, and yeah, it would be less than 1% CPU. It was unreal what a difference it made. Like browsers are so unbelievably inefficient. So yeah, MPV is great. I love that. Especially compared to VLC. Okay, so we're gonna try and figure out. Seemingly, this has gotten even worse. Oh, I wrote the header twice. I'm a fucking idiot. That may be why. We'll see. What's the 0L flags? I'm gonna assume no flags is correct there. Let's give that another go. Don't slander a classic. I'm gonna say it. Yeah, I'll say it. I'll say what needs to be said. VLC overrated. Yeah, I said it. Imagine if they made a whole OS as a browser. I'm 99% sure people have tried that before. Like, I understand Electron and shit. They are so convenient to write in. It's really easy to write like user interfaces and shit. So I get it, but like also, yikes! It's so such an inefficient thing to do. Yeah, whatever. Chrome OS. Time to ban Matt from his own stream. No. You know what I am right now? I am this meme. Oh no, that's not what I'm saying though. I'm saying VLC is overrated. This is me right now. Shut up. They hated Jesus because he told them the truth. Not that I'm Jesus. They hated Matt KC because he told them the truth. Yes, that's another good choice. MPCHC. I'm a big fan of MPCHC. But it's not on Linux. There is MPC Qt, which is like a remake for Linux, but it's not quite as like well refined. Why is the first Google image result so problematic? I have no idea. This is like a fresh browser as well. There's like there's only like, so it's not based on any. I know that the Google tries to like tailor results to like your history, but don't even have any history here. All I was trying to look for was Kermit memes before because I wanted to set the background to something funny, which I ended up not doing. Anyway, has safe search off? I don't think so. I haven't done. I literally set this up like earlier today. There's like nothing on here. Extracting the MP4 into individual images. That's a good idea. That's solid. Okay. Yes, I need to check these SIs. I need to compare these. So, why is... Again, I have to find these. I need a better way of looking these up. Oh, nice. That was lucky. So I'm looking for 161, which is here. 161. Okay, so now these are back to back. Maybe that'll work. Let's try it. Let's load up Lego Island as we speak. Lego Island, good times. I printed that map out and I hung it on the wall by my first PC. You know, that's a good idea. I'm going to turn off hacker mode. I feel like anyone's going to come in here and be like, why the hell is Shrek reverse engineering Lego Island? Come on now. That's not a bad idea. I've always wanted posters in my background. And, I want to get like a poster print of Bliss. and I want to get a poster print of Bill Gates holding the Xbox controller and the burger. And I want to get a print, and that's not a bad idea, get a print of the Lego Island map as well. What the hell is Shrek with... He's not! I am not him. I've only been fucked in the arse by him in that one Shrek-tember video. Damn it! And it still doesn't work. Well, it was a good theory, but yeah, I guess not. Don't go and watch Shrek-tember Part 1. Oh god, that's a deep cut today. Yeah, I'm sorry. Can I make it animated? I don't think so. Not without like writing a shader or something. Oh, why can't I make it like blue? Right? I can go all pink and I go all green. Oh, I guess it's like camera tint, right? I can't like cycle the hue all the way around to being blue, unfortunately. Anyway, enough talking about Shrek and my tumultuous relationship. Let's look at let's take another look at why these are not quite working, I guess. Make it orange for FNV, Fallout New Vegas. What am I like? Is this radioactive Matt KC? I guess I can make it oranger. The real way to make it orange would be to add the. Yeah, there we go. Now we have some nuclear fallout. Actually, someone mentioned earlier it's just the Mexico filter. All right, so why? Once again, we're back. We're back again with why in the name of God is this not working? This one. Must be this one. Yes. Alright, let's take another look and see what might or might not be different between them. All of these I think are the same. Like 7, D8, 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 D5. Yeah, they're all like... They're all basically... I think these are all spot on. Breaking Bad film. Yeah, exactly. I think it's going to be something to do with the chunking. And by that I do not mean the vomiting. No vomiting on this stream. Vomit free since 06. That's actually true. I have not vomited in my life since 2006. I don't know how. I mean, there was a certain point where I realized that and I was like, I got to keep that going. So like I make a concerted effort now, but I don't know how it didn't happen for so long before then. Decompiling Lego Island almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter. Oh yeah, you're right. I need to change this. I'm gonna make that the actual text. Oh, that's spelled wrong. For nuclear winter, I have to make that smaller. Excellent. When did you go to Mexico? While you're there, can you go to my uncle's for some beer from the motherland? Yeah, that's actually where I'm going right after this. Otherwise, why would I be here? Can you remember why you vomited in 2006? I can't remember why. I guess I remember it happening. I just remember I felt really sick, and then I vomited into the bathroom sink, which, as it turns out, is a really bad place to vomit. And my poor mother had to scoop it out because it like clogged the drain. My poor mother had to scoop it out onto like pieces of newspaper and then throw it out. I'm sorry for that visual. You're welcome. I'm sorry and you're welcome. Somehow both of those at the same time. But yeah, I remember that very clearly, but it just never happened since then. I guess maybe some kind of like food poisoning. Maybe. Alright, so we've got 222, E70, E70, 5630. Yeah, these all look fine, right? What's the deal? I'm wondering if I will have to like open up like a debugger at some point and just figure out why it's crashing, rather than worrying about rather than like actually. Oh, this is interesting. What's up with these? We got 4 137 chunks like back to back. What's 137? That would be this phoneme. Oh, so they're frames. They must be frames of this flick. So why are there flick frames in here? Why are they back to back here, but they're not back to back in mine? Could that be a problem? Oh no, they are relatively back to back in mine. Oh, these are all labeled. Oh, these are 3500, 3600, 3700. So these. Oh, they are back to back in mine. Never mind. Forget I even said anything. Huh, where's this chunk? This belongs to 143. Oh no, that's this. Oh, it's padding, right? A little late, but finally here. Hell yeah, yeah. I might get off in around 15 minutes or so, just because it is late-ish, and I might be like, I might just want to take a break from this, but. Well, that's a game I haven't played in a long time, despite the icon sitting on my desktop. Somehow I lost the ability to play without the disc. Well, you know what they say. Piracy. Yeah, so anyone who comes in from like the category and is like, why aren't you actually playing Lego Island? I guess that's true. I'm not. I'm I'm reverse engineering it. We're trying to like get the game to do things that it doesn't want to do. By which I mean like replacing assets in it. But why is currently I'm running into an issue where my reconstructed copy of the information center package crashes the game, and I don't know why. Interesting how LEGO still doesn't let people freely build things in their games. I remember being disappointed by that when I first got Lego Island. Yeah, like, not to disparage Lego Island, but that does seem like the obvious kind of thing to do. But I guess their concern is probably like, well, if you build the shit on the computer, then it's going to cannibalize the sales of the actual bricks and shit. Not that you can't do that with Stud.io already. If you want to build stuff virtually, Stud.io, I hear, is quite good. I've never used it, but yeah, you can just like get any brick in the world and build something, and then you can even like use it to order the bricks, and then you can build it IRL. Oh, they did make games like that apparently. Well, not Lego Island is not one of them. Lego Island is actually, it's a fairly restrictive game. I mean, it is open world, and it's a very early example of a 3D open world game, but it's also fairly limited just because they couldn't do everything, right? Non-consensual asset importing. You said it, not me. What do I think of the Silicon Dreams Lego Island sequels? Not the biggest fan. I mean, they're fine. I've played the second one. The second Lego Island. I played that to completion, but it's not the same. Like, you can tell that the first one really was kind of a labor of love, and it was all kind of like the imagination of Wes Jenkins, but like the second one I just felt like was kind of cashing in on it. Never played Lego Island, totally here to watch you rip it apart. Yeah, as I said this earlier in the stream, I hardly play Lego Island. It's hardly my favorite game. It's just I kind of fell into modding it, and it's just so much fun to keep modding it. So yeah. No, I never played Lego Racers. I haven't played any of the subsequent Lego games, really. It really is just this one. Is B3 on hold? No, it's my plan is to cycle through them. I would have probably already done some stuff on Burnout 3 if I wasn't like moving for the last 2 months straight because I'm an idiot. So yeah, the plan is to keep doing Burnout. I think it's obviously Lego Island has taken some of my time, the decomp stuff, but the plan is absolutely to keep working on that as well. Favorite game is really tough. I don't know if I can actually like answer that. There's games that have like meant the most to me, and they're usually story games, like the ones I find inspirational or like emotionally investing. And then there's the games that I play a lot, which are like usually arcade sort of games that you can just kind of pick up and play. And they're not necessarily the same thing, so it depends. It would depend a lot on what kind of favorite game. Lego Island Total Conversion mod, Warhammer. By total conversion, do you mean like a full high-res HD sort of thing? I mean, I'd be down. I don't know if I would do that myself because I'm not like an artist or anything. But like, by the time this tool works, then yeah, I mean, the community could put something like that together. For sure. So why? Once again, why does this not work? TT Lego games, no. I have probably an unpopular opinion. I don't think Traveler's Tales actually makes very good games. I love the Game Hut videos, and I absolutely agree that like from a technical perspective, I think they're really the Game Hut stuff is really cool. I've just always every Traveler's Tales game I've made has been just like there's just something not quite right about it. Like the physics are weird, or the controls are weird, or it's just kind of feels like what am I trying to say? Like shovelware. They're always a bit shovelware-y. Sonic R is kind of shovelware-y. That Toy Story Genesis game. I mean, it looks good, but like it just kind of feels like a shovelware game. Yeah, that's kind of. I know this is so unpopular. I know that Traveler's Tales games are so nostalgic for people. I didn't grow up with them, so they're not nostalgic for me. But yeah, program. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Programming is very good, but the gameplay isn't there. That's kind of. TT Lego games are fun, but you're right for everything else. Yeah, maybe the TT Lego games are fun. I mean, I'll admit I haven't played a lot of them. I've played a little bit of like Lego Star Wars and Lego Batman. I haven't played a lot of those, but I feel like a lot of them are kind of well, I already said it. Lego Star Wars and Lego Harry Potter. If you say so, I'll take your word for it. Gosh, yeah, I don't know if I'll get any further with this tonight. I feel like I'm running out of patience. I'll look at it again another day. But is my camera out of focus? Maybe just a little bit. Did I ever play Battle for Bikini Bottom? I don't think I ever played that. Yeah, we can just hang out for another like 5 or 10 minutes before I head out. Maybe rubber duck the problem out. Is that like a programming term? I'm not familiar with that. Yeah, so I might pour through these with a hex editor at some point. It's just like, yeah, I don't know. But I'll this was fun though. I might do another. I'll probably do another work stream like this. But yeah, I don't know. I think I want to take a break now. Oh, you speak to a rubber duck and explain the problem in simple terms. Oh, I see. So I just talk the problem out. I've done that before. What what was the goal? Well, all right, I'll go through it just for anyone who wasn't here from the beginning. I'll go through what's happening. I'll do a full run through, and then I'll finish up. Work streams are so fun to watch. I'm glad you think so. I I always worry that they're boring, but yeah, if people enjoy them, I'll be happy to do more. I am the rubber duck sometimes. Hell yeah, played any Forza games. A little bit. I'm more of a Gran Turismo person, but I want to play more of the Forza games. Make sure to use simple terms. I always try to. I do try to explain things as simply as possible. B3D comp. It's not, well, here's the thing. So the question is, have you ever thought of switching to the PS2 version instead of the Xbox version? So, firstly, I don't assume that the PS2 version is better. I assume the Xbox version is better, or at least they're exactly the same. But the thing is, I technically wasn't doing a decomp. I was doing a port via injection, and that would only be possible with the Xbox version. There's no way to do that with the PS2 version. That being said, the Xbox version has very aggressive link time optimization, which means that it becomes much, much harder to decomp. So if I were to do a decomp, I would do the PS2 version. If I continue doing the port via injection, that has to be the Xbox version. Okay, so let's go over the problem. Last year, pretty much exactly a year ago, in 2022, I started working on this tool called SI Editor. The idea was to create a fully featured modding tool for SI files, which are the LEGO Islands asset pack format, because nothing really exists for that. Spent 2 months decomping a PS2 game. That shit is convoluted, man. The graphics pipeline is wild. I'm sure it is. The benefit here is that the game uses renderware, so I assume we just decomp up to renderware and then just swap in real renderware and don't look at any of the actual graphics code. Anyway, so it's a pretty fully featured editor in the sense that you can go in, it'll show all the assets, at least most of them. You can scroll down to here. These are the cutscenes. You can see like the lip sync animation and the guy's dialogue.
Oh, hello. I didn't see you at first. I see you now, of course, and I'm really glad you're here. I'm going to pieces, as you can see. It seems like everybody picked today to fall apart on me.
And then you can break it down into like the WAV file. You can extract that. It's the dialogue, the phoneme, which is just like it's a flick, which is basically a GIF of him talking. It's lip synced to the WAV file. The sound effects, which you heard in there. There's like, must be over here somewhere. I don't know where that is, but yeah, these sound effects you heard in there, like this one. And you can extract and replace those. That's the idea. Oh, I'm not showing the screen. I'm such an idiot. My bad. So, okay, so this is it. So we have the hospital, hospital asset file. You can see all the assets in it, all the bitmaps, all that. And the cutscenes, so you can see the lip sync GIF, or flick, it's a flick, I should say. I should be specific. The WAV file, that's the dialogue, and you can extract all this stuff, so you can like get it in, you can access it outside of the thing, and break it apart into the sound effects. This is a 3D animation, which you can't view yet, but the idea is that one day you will be able to view it. Then, and you can, yeah, and the idea behind this, because you've been able to extract stuff from SI files for a long time, but there haven't been many tools for like replacing and reconstructing them. So the idea was, for this tool, was to create kind of a whole toolkit that would let you do that, and it does. So if I let's fix this, if I load up the game and we go to the hospital, I prepared this earlier. It's basically the hospital asset pack, but I've swapped in the police station background. So if we go to the hospital,
Oh, well, that.
I have to select a specific polygon because the my pick implementation is not very good. Yeah, he's supposed to be in the hospital, but he's actually in the police station. So it's a full SI editing toolkit essentially is what I'm going for here. And it works pretty well on a lot of the smaller SI files. Here's me, I threw in Bliss as well for fun. I also threw in, there's because you can swap the animations as well. You can, I managed to get, this is a wild one actually. You can actually get the Infomaniac in the hospital because I just swapped in his like opening animation. And because it's, you know, it's 3D, so he's correct perspective for the background because it's all, the camera is lined up for the background. So even though this is not where you usually see him, it is technically right. So yeah, it's a lot of fun to be able to swap stuff in like this, and I think it's really cool. But the tool is not perfect. For these smaller SI files, it's fine. But for the bigger stuff, like the information center, which is the first room in the game, that's the... Hang on, I'll load that up in case you're not familiar with the game. This opening scene, this is the one we'd really love to be able to work with because it's the first one you see, it's the most iconic scene in the whole game. So, but the problem is it's a lot more complex. There's a lot of dialogue. Infomaniac explains a lot. There's a lot of animation. There's videos in it because if you click up here, it plays an FMV. So there's a lot of stuff going on in this SI file. And when I reconstruct it, if I just do a simple open up Infomain. Again, opening it works fine. You can see all the stuff in there. See the background and everything. But the thing is, when you save it, so if I go and save, I rename this to .old, and then I make this the new Infomain. So basically, we've done nothing. We've just people are having a good time outside. All right. So all I've done is I've just let my app reconstruct the file. I've just opened it and I've just saved it. Nothing else. Yet somehow Lego Island is not happy with this reconstructed file. As soon it'll load it. If it didn't load, we wouldn't see this logo. But as soon as you actually get into it, it crashes. And I don't know why. And so what I was trying to do was basically just look through the two files and figure out what's different between them. I hope it's a good time. I think it was. It didn't sound like terrified screaming. It just sounded like normal people goofing around. Background red. Yeah. It does look a bit like a jump scare. I forgot this background even existed when I first... oops, not this one. In here. No sirens. Yeah, I'll let you know if there are any sirens. I forgot that there was this background red in here. It is a bit of a creepypasta version of the background. It happens when you release the Brickster and the shit starts getting real. But yeah, anyway, so I was kind of looking at the two and trying to figure out what was different between them, why one worked but the other didn't. It all looks pretty good from what I can tell. I tried a couple things that I noticed, like sometimes the chunks would be closer together. Like I saw that occasionally you'd have two chunks that would be back to back. I hadn't done that in my implementation. So that's what I tried to look into, was putting those back to back, and it didn't make a difference. So yeah, essentially I don't think there's any real... It's not necessarily a puzzle to be solved. There's a file. Yeah, they're not identical, but the point but they shouldn't it doesn't necessarily matter that they're identical as long as like everything is in the right place. I'm not necessarily going for like byte accuracy with these, just compatibility really. And it should be compatible. Like I said, the hospital reconstructs perfectly, but yeah, the information center is just a lot more complex. So there's probably just something in there that's not quite right. And yeah, it's something that's fumbling it. So I don't know. So I'll just have to keep staring at the two side by side in a hex editor, and eventually something will stick out to me, I'm sure. Yeah, I'll look at a hex editor. I won't do it today though, because like I said, I think I want to take a break. But yeah, I'll probably open up in a hex editor, just see what might be different. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate it. This is a bizarre time for my streams nowadays. But hey, my plan is I'm gonna lean a bit more into my YouTube and streaming stuff. I had been juggling a lot of different things, but I think I'm gonna try to just like focus on one thing, and then I can, yeah, just make things a little bit easier for me. So anyway, see you guys next time. I'm gonna assume there's no one to raid. It's all the people I watch nowadays stream during the day. Oh, you know what? There is someone I'm gonna raid. I'm gonna raid Yeet It's Nikki. Or alternatively, Yee Tits Nikki. Alright, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for hanging out. Bye-bye.